Good morning. It is morning, and yes, I still have my nightgown on, but it covers plenty. But my new thing is for these next few days is I'm only going to be up an hour before I go back into my reclining chair and get these legs up because it's working. It's working. I got my Una boot bandages on. If you've ever heard of Una boots, I got the Una boot bandage, and I'm up cycle up. What do you call it? Up. My legs are up. Elevate. My legs is elevated, and so I can tell it's working. Dumb water pills, I don't like them, but hey, that's just part of life. And my legs are feeling better, so that is good. So while I have my hour up, I wanted to show you what I'm making. What I'm making, I'll tell you what it is. It's a sit-upon. Now, maybe you've never heard of a sit-upon, but if you've been around Girl Scouts at all, if you were a Girl Scout or if you were a Girl Scout leader, you know what a sit-upon is. And so I remember when I was a Girl Scout leader, we made sit-upons because you needed something to sit upon. When you went out for a picnic or something, you had your very own sit-upon. So that's what I'm making here. I'll show you. And this is going to be like the sit-upon for royalty. So if you got a royal butt, you need a sit-upon. But look at this down here. Oops, let's move this. This is all flannel fabric that this is made from. I have the this kind of a grid, and this one's kind of big. If I make another one, it won't be this big. And then I first went around the whole edge and folded the edge over 2 squares, and then I crocheted around the whole edge. So it's got the edging on already at the beginning. And then I used the squares that are already printed on this. Some of them come with printed squares and some of this doesn't. But you don't have to use this kind of stuff. You can use whatever you can. See, this is something, and I don't even remember what it's called, but I got it from Temu. But it has just lines on it, and but it's got, as long as you have something that's got a good, I haven't opened this package yet. I want to see something on this package. As long as you have something that is, this is real soft. This, I think, might be a linen, but it doesn't say on the package, and I don't remember from when I ordered it. But let me see if my, oh yes, this goes through it perfectly. This is wonderful. So, but see what happens, it doesn't break the threads. It only moves the threads so that you can get your piece through. Like, for instance, here I got a few pinks in this here bag. And so I cut my pieces into 3 inches by 1 inch-ish. Some of them might be a little more than 3, some might be a little less than 3, some might be a little more than 1 inch, some a little less. Doesn't matter. And so here on this, I would go through maybe 3 or 4 threads, and then I would pull that piece back through, and it comes through. Now, as you see, when you first get a piece through, it's kind of loose in there. But then when you start adding more pieces, then they get tighter and tighter. Tighter and tighter, and they hold each other in there. See? And then you can pull them out if you don't want to leave them in there. Okay, so anyway, this is a big piece, so gosh, man, is that ever a big piece. Now I have to go back on Temu and see, look at my orders and see what this was. It's so soft. I'm going to love using this. I already know it. But now, like I say, this is using this grid that I don't know what it's called. But it's, I mean, you would figure that out. But what I'm doing is I'm using each and every one of these squares, and I'm putting in a different color. So I went through and I cut up a lot of my flannel. This is all flannel. So, well, that's not flannel. So I have, like, here is some green, like in these spots here, the green. And then here, oh, that's all that's left of this piece right here. And then here is some, this right here had little shamrocks all over it. Where's my other ones? Have I used them all up? And then this one here. And so I thought I had some more cut. And then these little pinks, I'm gonna have to cut more. This really does take a lot it takes a lot of, oh, see here I have a big piece of green flannel. So there'll be a lot of green in here. See this light green? Because I got a lot of that. I got even like 2 more yards up this that I can cut. And so what I do, first of all, for my cutting, look, even the back looks pretty. Even the back looks pretty. But I have these I cut into these squares a long time ago when I was making something else. And then I didn't use them all. But this is perfect because they're 6 by 6 squares. So then and look, it's got the border thing on it. It doesn't matter. We can cut, don't have to. I can cut 3 pieces at the time. And so then I just cut it with my rotary cutter. First I just cut it in half. Now it's 3 inches-ish. And then I cut it then into the strips. And I just cut it. Now I just eyeball. And so this is a whole nother color now of a light blue, which I don't have any light blues in there yet. So then I have 6 1-ish inch strips right here. I mean, you know, out of that. Okay, I got much more here to cut. I won't cut them right this very second, though. And then I'm going to use these colors now. I'm going to put them. And what I do now is I'm just going to do 1 square. And so this turns out to be, so since I have, these are 3-inch squares, 3-inch lengths, then once they're put in there, then this is about 1.5 inches thick. So if you are going like to you're going to go to the park and sit on a bench, you carry your sit-upon with you, and you put that on that bench, and you not only are not sitting on anybody else's germs, but you're sitting on a comfortable seat. Or if you go to like the a ball game, we got to put lipstick on that, cool. A ball game or something, you want to carry that to have a nice softer seat. And if you're going to church and they just got them wooden pews, take your sit-upon with you, because then you have a cushy seat to sit upon. And now this one's going to be kind of big. You could fold it in half and have a 3-inch sit-upon. But anyway, there are so many different uses for sit-upon where you're going to sit. Now I'm going to measure my my seat. I've got a rolling walker, a walker with seat on it. I'm going to measure that seat, and I'm going to make one that just covers that seat. But when I make that one, though, then I'm going to take and put like an elastic down, sew it here and sew it down here so it'll slip right over that seat and stay right on there just nicely. And that will make that seat a lot more comfortable to sit on when I do sit on it. And because I take that rolly walker, the one that's got the seat in it, and I use that when I go outside and sit with the chickens. And or if I just want to go outside and sit for a while. And by having this little sit-upon on top of that, even though the seat is a little squishy, by having the sit-upon on there, it'll make it a much more comfortable. And there might be other things, too, that you could use this for. You might make one just the size of a couch pillow, and then sew a back on it and stuff it, and have a really, really nice little throw pillow on your couch. And so, but what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and start. And you can start anywhere because I'm just going along this square here. Hi, Papa, what's up?
I just thought I'd come let you know I was going to run to the road and back.
You're going to run to the road and back, okay.
Yeah, just in case you went out there and I couldn't find me.
Yeah, boy. I'd have to call the Secret Service and...
Yeah, they don't like me.
Yeah, find out where you are. All right, you be careful out there. Kind of chilly now this morning.
I shall return.
Okay, you return. Okay, so now I'm just going to... When I put these in, like I told you the other day, I go in... Well, I'm going to make a little... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do one of these squares over here where you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do this square right here. So, now see there, I'm going to make that whole square into like a blue. I go diagonal is what I do. I go diagonal into the square, and then I just pull that through. And then the next one, and pull it through. Now, and I just go till I get to the end of that little square. And now, see, the back of the flannel is more of a white, but it's not pure white. It's still a lot of the same color as the, well, I guess it is very white. But it's okay. When you look at it like this, when it's all fluffed together, it's okay. It's pretty. It's still very pretty. Now, I'm using flannel because I have flannel left over from other things, or that I might have bought for another reason and never took up on the reason. I don't know. I think at this time of the year, though, I think they sell a lot of flannel on sale. I think a lot of it goes on sale at this time of the year because people are looking for things to make themselves warm, you know. And so you might get a pretty good price for a yard. And another thing, because you're cutting it into pieces, you can go look in the remnants aisle. And like Joann Fabrics always, or it used to anyway, I haven't been in there years, but they used to have a little bit of a bin that had all remnants in it. And you might find some in there. But another thing, you can use to make these, which what I want to make one out of, I've got a couple of old sweatshirts, and I'm going to tear them sweatshirts apart, or cut them apart, and I'm going to cut them into the sizes that I need to make. This one, see, it's not an inch, but it's okay, it works. And using old sweatshirts, and then t-shirts. Now, t-shirts, I wonder, you might want to have a t-shirt to be a little bit wider than an inch. You'd still want to have them about 3 inches in length, but maybe a little wider in a lighter fabric. You might want to have it a little bit a little bit wider in width. And I don't know, it's, you have to kind of just test it out. And well, actually it depends on what you're using too. Now this here, it's got the bigger holes in it, but then this, what I just showed you, it doesn't. So if I had something with a narrower width, it would still fit in here just fine. I mean, it would go in just fine. It would be just great, just wonderful, just dandy. And so, but t-shirt, and if you have any kind of like a jersey fabric, you know, that old stretchy stuff. Like when I use the socks, I'm making one of these sort of like these out of socks. And when you stretch them socks after I cut them apart and stretch them, they go like almost into a tube. And so that one's turning out nice too. And I started on this one before finishing my others. Well, I finished my wool. I made a one out of wool pieces. I finished that one. I haven't finished my socks one yet because I wanted to see what this... I was curious to start on my flannel to see how my flannel one would turn out. And so that's kind of how I get anxious. I get anxious and I say, oh, I want to try that and I want to try that. And then I try things before I'm finished with the other whatever. And so, but this is a very simple... Well, they call this proddy or proggy, and there's other names too, which I just learned one when I posted my video the other day. One of the comments was, oh, I used to make them years ago, and we called it another word, and I don't remember. And so there's many different names for this type of thing, but they didn't always use this tool. They used a proggy tool, which is like they would use anything. Like you could use, like here's a paintbrush handle. You could use the paintbrush handle. And then you would, the original way to do it was to take the piece from the back and push it through with a proggy tool, which usually what they did was take a clothes peg and take one of the little legs off of it and then use the other leg and point and shave it down to a point. Well, and see, they would just use a proggy tool and do this way and get it through that way. Well, then somebody said, okay, well, let's invent something different. And they come up with this tool, which this tool makes you be able, because you always had to do the proggy from the back. But with this tool, then you can do it from the front, from the top, instead of the back. And so, and you can go a lot quicker. And it's just a lot easier on the hands, too, when you get old hands, especially. And old hands come with old age. See, now all of them that I cut, and it wasn't enough to do this one square. But, so I'll have to cut some more for this one square. Like I say, it does take quite a bit of fabric. You're going to use a lot of fabric in this. So I don't know how many, and depending on how big you make your mat or your sit-upon will decide of how much fabric that you need. But you can actually use just any kind of fabric. I think this flannel, and because I have flannel, I think the flannel is going to make a very nice little cushion to sit on. You could even put this in your car, to sit on in your car. But see, now this I still have. Well, I gotta cut me a couple more little strips. I gotta cut me a couple more little strips here out of this. So that was that in one square. It would take. Now see if I do 2 more of these. That would finish that 1 square. I'm gonna cut 3, just because I can. And so I first, because they're already 6 by 6, then I because that's what I cut them for my whatever the last project was I was making with these. And see, as you can see, I'm just kind of eyeballing it and cutting them. So see, now I got a whole bunch more. Now I got more than I need for that 1 square, but I will cut up those others so that because I'll do, like I say, I got a lot of green squares in here, but I wish you could feel this because it's just so soft. See, I've almost got to the bottom. See, there's that blue line right there. And so I've almost got to the bottom of this. So probably 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those squares. So 6 by 6 by 6 by 6 by 6. 6 by 6 and then 6 by 12. Probably a 12 by 12 piece of fabric. 12 by 12 piece of fabric is probably what you need to do each one of these squares. That's what I'm guessing right now. Maybe a wee bit more. Well, depending on how narrow or wide you cut them. If you cut them a little bit wider, then a little bit more. But approximately 12 by 12 piece will do one of these squares, so you can kind of figure out from there how much you would need. And that's using this flannel. Excuse me. And so, but now, see, I'm curious to start getting my sweatshirts. I got 2 sweatshirts, and I gotta look through Papa's clothes, see what I can find. See if he's got some sweatshirts he hasn't worn for a while. And I could snag onto them, and then I can ask around. I know my daughter is constantly bringing clothes to the thrift shop to donate. She wears something for a couple weeks and then needs new clothes. But see, now there's 1 square. And see how fluffy that looks? And then you put another square right up against it. And it's just so soft. And you know, you guys might think of even other things you can do with these. But if you put it on your car seat, in your car, or just like when you go to the park and you sit on a park bench, you just really don't want to sit on whatever else might be on that park bench. And so this day and age anyway, unless you bring a cleaner with you. I think this one here, I had some shorter pieces in there. But this, it's so soft and squishy, and it's just fun to play with. So, but that's what I wanted to show you today. Because that's what I've been working on, is this here fun little mat. And then I put each one of my colors. Now see, I got my little small Ziploc bags, and so I'll put the rest of this blue in that one. And probably today I'm going to cut up more. When I looked at how much flannel that I had, I thought, oh, I'd be making a bunch out of that. But I'm not going to get a whole bunch made out of that. But I got other things that I'm going to use. And like like socks, the t-shirts, because Papa's got a lot of t-shirts with holes in them. I don't know how come they get holes. They don't. He really doesn't do anything rough, and but still, after you wash them t-shirts a little bit, then they get little holes all in them. He always asks me, "How in the world do these holes get here?" And he'll ask me that 3 or 4 times a day. Like he tells me when he's going to go for a walk to the road, he'll come back every time because he walks to the road and back probably 25 times a day. And he'll come and tell me, I'm going to walk to the road and back. And then he'll come back in here and say, I'm back. But yeah, he likes to keep me posted as to where he's going or what he's doing or what he's thinking. So he's always right here. And that's my boy. He's my boy toy. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to show you today is my sit-upon. And if you look up sit-upons, if you Google them, what you'll come up with mostly is the Girl Scouts. And that's where these, maybe not this style, but just a sit-upon. I think every Girl Scout has made a sit-upon, and they're made to sit upon somewhere, to go somewhere and sit upon it. When I was a Girl Scout leader, and I took my Girl Scouts down to Sanibel Island, which is down south of here, and because it is the best place to go for seashells. Well, we made a sit-upon, and we made a tote bag, and we made them completely this out of weaving wallpaper samples, using wallpaper sample books cut into strips, and we were weaving, and we made a sit-upon, and then we made a tote bag. The sit-upon was to sit down on, and then the tote bag to put their shells in, because Sanibel Island is where everybody likes to go and find seashells. And so that was one of my most memorable trips that we made with the Girl Scouts. And that's when I could still drive, and I still wasn't scared, and I wasn't an old homebody. And me and my friends, me and my Girl Scout. Well, actually, there wasn't even Girl Scout troop here in Spring Hill. And me and another girl, Jill, her name was Jill. Me and Jill, we said, we got to get Girl Scouts going here in Spring Hill. And so we studied and we figured out how we could do it. And we started the Girl Scouts in Spring Hill. And we named them Spring Mermaids. That's what we come up with was our name. And they still to this day call them the Spring Mermaids, is the Girl Scouts. And they got plenty of troops now with the Brownies and the Girl Scouts, Junior Girl Scouts, and God, I don't know what they call them now. And then in February they had Juliet Lowe Day, which is Juliet Lowe was the lady that started Girl Scouts, period, and that's in February. And we'd have a big thing going on in February for the Girl Scouts. I just love the memories, man. When I think about it, I reminisce, and then I also, for a time, I had a 4-H group too, with kids. And it's amazing how a lot of these children that were in these groups, I am still in contact with so many of them. And believe it or not, some of them are grandparents. How can them little girls be a grandparent? But they are. Some of them Girl Scouts, some little brownies, because I started with a brownie troop, because that was the age of my girls. And a lot of them little brownie girls now are grandparents. And so yeah, I have got memories that just treasures my memories of these little ones. Just me, not even a month ago, I had one of my little Tony Ann. She came over with her girls because she lived around the corner. Her parents, well, her daddy just passed away, but her mama still lives right around the corner. And so she had come down to see her mama, and then she made sure she came to see me too while they were down here in Florida. And now she's a what EST teacher, something. She works at the school and teaches children with learning disabilities. And she just talked about how she loves her job. She just loves it. She just loves it. And it's so good to hear from these children that at one time, well, actually, little Tony Ann, I had her engaged to my son. They were 4 years old at the time, but it didn't take. That was an arranged marriage that didn't work out. It didn't take. They each married somebody else that I didn't pick, but they both married well, so I'll have to be okay with that. But yeah, when I get to reminiscing and thinking about all the and when me and Papa gets on a front porch, it's for some reason being out there on the front porch and being in the fresh air and God's energy and stuff. It's just it's like it drags those memories out for some reason, and then we will just chat and chat and chat. He doesn't chat as much as I do anymore, but at least he listens and he'll listen to me till the cows come home. He just listens, and I just love to bring up those memories from all those years ago, because I wasn't always just a little old lady making them fuzzy things. Isn't that a pretty picture? Well, I mean of the sit upon. I mean, you can make it into a rug. You could make this into a nice bath mat. Oh, when I wash this too, I'm going to wash it. Once it's done, I'm going to put it in the washer machine and dryer. But what I'll do, because there'll be a lot of lint come from it, I'm going to put it inside of a pillowcase. And then I will tie the pillowcase shut or base it shut or something, and then I will wash it and I'll dry it in the pillowcase. Otherwise, because I don't want to get my filter filled with all the lint, and so I'll wash it and dry it, and that will take a lot of the lint off. As it is, I use the lint roller. You can see the lint from there already. I just got off on the lint roller. But I'll wash it and I'll dry it, and then I'm going to see how that's going to lock these in even more, because these strips aren't tied in, they're only pulled through. So once I wash it and dry it, that's going to lock those in even tighter, and so that it'll stay. And so then after it's washed, maybe every time you wash it, it would be good to put it inside of a pillowcase or something. But I think after you wash it a few times, then it wouldn't be all that linty anymore. So, when I'm finished with it and I wash it, I'll show it to y'all then. Isn't it pretty? It's just so soft. I mean, if you could make it into a pillow, yeah, that would be good. Okay, so that's about all she wrote today. I'm going to read again out of my You Are Stronger Than You Know book. I know some people already commented how they get a lot of I don't know what you get a lot of. You get a lot of something out of these. But these are words of hope and encouragement for someone living with a chronic illness. And when we talk about a chronic illness, it can be anything from emotional to physical, any kind of a chronic, something that is just a chronic illness. Your chronic illness, it could be your pain in the butt kids. Don't tell my kids I said that. But and I'm not even saying that just to be funny. I mean, it's sometimes those children. I'm glad I got my little area back here that I can come in here. I shut the door and let them kids have their own life out there. And so, but anyhow, so here is one that says, did I leave it? Oh yeah, I just read that one. Okay, you have the power. Okay, we're going to read that one. You have the power. Have patience. Have a pair of glasses. Well, we're not going to worry about... Okay.
How's your coffee supply?
My coffee's good, Pumpkinhead.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I got this here nightgown for Christmas. Isn't it nice? I'll probably wear it all day. All right. You have the power. My daughter bought me that. It was special thoughts behind it with the red cardinals on it. Okay. Have patience with yourself and the situation. Live in the moment, one day at a time, not fretting about the past or worrying about the future. You have strength enough for the present, and that is all you need for now. Allow yourself the luxury of peace, and don't take on more than you have to. Learn to let go. Refuse negative thoughts. Replace them with positive ones. Look for the good things in your life and make a point to appreciate them. Believe in yourself and know that you have the power. You are ultimately the one in charge of your life and the only person in the world who can change it. No matter how much others are pulling for you or how much anyone else cares, you must do what needs to be done to make your present and future everything you want and need it to be. And that was written by Barbara Cage. There is so many good things in here. Oh, this book was given to me by Cindy Utter. I haven't heard from her for a while, but she sent me this book years ago, when I first started my YouTube channel. She sent this to me. Cindy Utter. I wrote her name there so I would remember who sent it to me. So, you know what? And I wanted to ask a question too. I was thinking, when I sleep in my recliner chair. I don't sleep in a bed anymore. I wrap myself burrito style because I got a big blanket that lays on my chair, and then I sit on the chair on that big blanket. Then I have two blankets that I cover myself with. I first cover myself with my sister blanket that I got from my friend Cordula, and it's so soft. She sent that to me, and she sent it. It says something about unbiological sisters, and it's really beautiful. But my second blanket that I always cover with is my crocheted purple and white Afghan that I got from a subscriber friend sister, and now I can't remember who sent it to me. I could go through all of my videos and try to find who sent it to me. But if you're the one that sent me that crocheted purple and white zigzaggy crocheted blanket, that's with me every night. Let me know it was you. But I might find you because I just want to remember who sent it to me, and right now I can't. And so, but it is just beautiful. And then that blanket that I sit on, I take, because I put it on my chair, diamond shaped on my chair. So then I pull this side over and pull this side over, and I pull the top over my head, which I can put it right over my head because I can breathe just fine because I use my CPAP machine, and it's almost like having scuba gear in the bed. And so you can breathe just fine with that CPAP thing. And I'm like a burrito. I sleep like a burrito. I just feel so cozy. But anyhow, I guess you didn't need to know that. But I just really want to remember who sent me that purple and white crocheted Afghan, because it is. Those are my two favorite blankets, and I put those over me, and then around me is my big blue fuzzy blanket, and then I'm a burrito in my chair. And I'm so comfortable. Okay, now I'm going to let you go now. I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make. Keep you safe and secure. Keep you happy, healthy, and humble. And know that God loves you, I love you, and the best person to love is yourself. Make sure you love yourself, because that is good. As long as you love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself. And no matter how crappy life gets, stay another day. God bless. God bless, and here's the Turner offer. Bye-bye.